Hi everyone, this is Amanda from 2DN, and we are here this evening with college students at Yellowstone. We want to talk about how the experience is in dorm life, work camping here in Yellowstone. And if we could start out, guys, if we can go around and introduce yourself, tell us where you're from, what college you go to, just let us know a little bit about you. Anyone can start.
All right. I'm Nicholas Grant Bernardi. I was raised in Meridian, Idaho, and I currently attend the University of Idaho up in Moscow, Idaho.
All right. I'm Ford. I grew up in Petaluma, California, and I go to Chico State, which is a state school in Northern California.
Hey, I'm Reed. I go to Santa Fe College in Gainesville, Florida. I was born in Florida, moved all around, and now I'm back there, and I'm 19.
And I'm Tessa Starkle, and I go to Olympic Community College, and I live in Kingston, Washington, and I'm 19.
What I would like to know is what position you have here at Yellowstone. I know we all work at Fishing Bridge because we all work together, but what is it that you exactly do here at Fishing Bridge in Yellowstone?
Well, me and Ford are customer service associates, which is a fancy way of saying we're cashiers.
Well, I'm a grill cook. Just flipping burgers all day, chicken, burgers. So all good deal.
I did have a question. Did you have any previous grill cook experience before you came here?
I did not. I was originally going to be a food service associate, and then there was a need for grill cooks, and I stepped in.
Okay, and what do you do, Tessa?
And I'm a food service associate. I work with you. That's basically a nice way of saying you're everyone's bitch.
Yep. We do all the other duties as assigned, huh?
Yeah.
You know, the little clause at the bottom of your contract. But I don't think it's too bad because we get to scoop ice cream and make people smile. So.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it.
I just hate the dishes.
How I heard about working at Yellowstone was actually through Eaz. He was online. We had started full-timing in our RV, and he was like, I want to make a little extra money. And he was researching, and he found work camping in Yellowstone. But how did you guys find out about this opportunity?
Well, a friend of mine from high school, his sister did it a couple years ago, and he texted a bunch of us and said, hey, let's do this summer, and it just kind of worked out that way. We all ended up here.
Awesome.
Yeah, he was my friend from high school's roommate at our college, basically. That's how I met him. Mm-hmm. And he, like, at the end of the semester, spring semester, he was just like, let's do this, and that's how I figured it out.
Okay.
And then Andrew, his girlfriend Sprout is my childhood best friend from 6th grade, and she roped me into this.
Oh, I didn't realize the circle went that far.
Yeah, so the three of us didn't know each other before coming here. Yeah. So we're all held together by this one friend.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, where's that one friend? Why isn't he
He's
here?
working right now.
Oh.
Probably doing dishes.
Probably. Okay. What about you, Ford? How did you hear about this opportunity?
I do not remember exactly which website. The original plan was go to Alaska and work in Denali National Park. I just woke up one morning and thought, Yellowstone. So I looked up on that and decided to come here instead.
Oh,
I
that's
called
pretty
it
cool.
my quarter-life crisis.
With everything, there's the good, the bad, and the ugly. Well, I'm kind of looking for the good and the bad. Can you all give me a pro and a con since you started working here?
I'll just get it out of the way.
Okay.
You're in Yellowstone National Park, which is one of the most amazing places to be.
I completely agree.
But the big con I have is the men's dorm situation.
Okay.
I'm rooming with a friend of mine, and we're in this tiny ass small room. There's not a lot of room in there, you know. And then my closet has a window. Like, for real, I walk into my closet and there's just this big green window that looks out over the road construction.
That's why you lie and get into the couple's dorm.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started on the bathrooms.
Oh, really? Are the bathrooms pretty
The
scary?
urinal is a trough.
That's kind of goes with the theme of Yellowstone, right? Like the country.
Have you seen their bathrooms?
Okay, our bathroom is pristine.
It is nice.
I've seen their bathrooms. They're pretty clean.
Have you seen the bathrooms upstairs? They are
No, we haven't seen
curtains for our toilets.
No.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, that sounds like Army barrack material.
Feels like it.
Would you say that even though a con is your dormitories, would you say that that maybe like gives you incentive to go outside and to do more and to be outside more?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah?
And we're always in either here or out back doing a bonfire,
Because you don't want to stay in the stuffy cramped room.
basically.
I think the pro was lying about getting into the couple's dorm. Because
Yeah.
me and him said that we're in a couple, and then...
And then you got in the couple's dorm together.
Yeah.
And from what I hear, that is better. Like I've been to the women's bathroom over there and
The
stuff.
rooms
and
are so much bigger.
And
Yeah.
they're nice rooms.
Mhm.
I haven't been in the rooms.
We have two dressers, and then not everyone has this, but our beds also have
Mhm.
drawers. And then we also have a huge closet. And it's nice too because it's just a walk down to work. So
Mhm.
like if you're
Yeah.
running really late,
Yeah.
just right down there.
What would be a con for you?
You can't legally party.
Can't legally party.
That's not.
Legally.
Yeah.
Party doesn't necessarily have to mean drinking.
I'm gonna say one of the biggest pros for me is just meeting everyone, because one, everyone you work with, there's no one here that I work with that I dislike.
I would say that that is a gigantic pro, to be
Yeah.
able to say that there's no one that you cannot stand to work with.
Yeah. There's no one that if I found out I was working at the register next to them, I wouldn't go, oh my god, I hate this.
Yeah.
And even the customers, I like talking to them. The other day, was talking to someone who grew up about 10 minutes away from my hometown, and, you know, small world, yeah.
There's people from all around the world though. I met someone from I met like a family from France and Germany, and then their coworkers are from all over too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for me, to piggyback off of what Ford said, I couldn't envision a better group of grill cooks back there. There's 5 of us, and we all get along great. There's all great communication. We're all joking around with each other, messing with each other all day, and it's just great. And then to have a big group of friends like we have, that's pretty cool too. We all have the same days off. We go do whatever on our weekend. And as for a con, I'd probably say the Wi-Fi is not the greatest, but again, that's more incentive to get out and do stuff.
I think that's one of my biggest cons, but that's for us too because we do essentially all of our other work online.
Oh, another con. Right now, the mosquitoes are crazy.
Oh yeah, they just popped up like that. They went from like no mosquitoes to all mosquitoes.
And see, we live in Texas and I'm from Georgia. I thought that the mosquitoes were bad in the south, but here,
They're always bad in like northern water areas.
and they're horrible. Like you go outside and you see clouds of them. I didn't get a con from you, Ford.
Okay, a con, I don't know. I really like it up here.
Well, that's awesome. If you have to think about it, I think that just says something in of itself that you have to really think about a con.
I guess it's gonna sound kind of corny, but I guess missing people back home, like my friends and family. But that's one of the only things I can think of as a con.
Well, if that's your worst con, I think
Yeah.
you're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
And it's not corny, no, because especially if this is your first time doing something like this, you just expect to be homesick for a little while. What advice would you give someone in your situation?
Memorize the layout of the store.
Okay.
Like that, because customers will ask you, even if you're just like not even on shift or something like that. If you have something that indicates that you are a worker there, they'll be like, "Do you know where this is?" And just knowing where that is, so you don't piss them off, is always a nice thing.
Yes, I have found that out the hard way. I'll be walking to go clock out, and I mean, I have like my water bottle, my apron is off, but my hat says,
Yeah,
and they'll ask me where something is.
it's like right next to your head. That's like.
We're having issues with mosquitoes.
So what was the question again, though?
What advice would you give to someone in your situation?
Bring as many extension cords and illegal thing, like not illegal, but like and
frowned upon items.
Yeah,
Yes.
frowned upon items. Bring as much of it as you want and drive, and then just hide it in your car when there's room inspections.
Okay.
Honestly, like having an electric kettle in my room is a lifesaver.
We're all getting very annoyed now about the mosquitoes.
For me, the advice I would give, even more than the layout of the store, the layout of the park in general and how to get to places, because people will ask that all the time.
But you'll pick that up pretty quick.
Yeah, that's true too.
I think I'd have to basically just go off of what Nick said with memorizing what you carry and where.
But how about something in perspective of dorm life here too in Yellowstone?
Some people don't believe me and say they won't do it, but hitchhiking, I highly recommend it.
Okay.
A lot of people don't realize that it's relatively safe in Yellowstone, and I don't have a car, so to someone coming in, I would tell them they don't actually need a car.
Really?
Yeah, I would tell them that.
It's definitely a plus, but it's not necessary.
It's not necessary.
Yeah.
I think some of the girls would have to disagree with you on that, and me in particular, because for guys it tends to be a lot different with hitchhiking.
Anyone you work with will give you a ride, basically.
Yeah.
If
Yes.
they have a car, they'll give you a ride.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If there's something you think you won't need, but you do need it at home, bring it.
Bring it.
Better have it and not need
Yeah.
it than not have it and need it.
Yes, because you're going to pay 3 times the price for it if you have to get it here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What is one thing that you would bring with you that you haven't brought this time?
Fly fishing supplies, because like everybody will teach you basically. They have lessons out in the lake, and they'll, like, even if you don't know how to do it and you have that stuff. Like, I have my grandpa's old fly fishing rod. I didn't bring it because I don't know how to fly fish.
Uh-huh.
And apparently they have lessons here to learn how to fly fish.
I did not know that they had fly fishing lessons. That would be pretty cool.
I think I would have brought a kayak.
A kayak?
Yeah, or a stand-up paddleboard.
I love the idea of like the inflatable paddle boards.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Mhm.
The only thing that would suck is that driving here and stuff, you'd have to be stopped at all the different stop stations and
Yes.
everything to be checked, and it's like a nuisance.
I would bring an electric kettle.
An electric kettle.
Mhm. Yeah, that was
Just
smart.
use
I
mine.
brought that.
Oh yeah, or like a way to have food in your dorm, like a fridge or something,
Yeah.
because like the EDR closes really like early.
Relatively to when most people are going to go to bed. Or
Do they allow?
Yeah, Sprout and Andrew have a fridge in their dorm.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Okay, well that's good to know.
probably more weather appropriate clothing. I mean, I don't dress for cold weather often in Florida, so I don't have the need for a lot of heavy jackets or
Mhm.
anything. But I probably would have brought maybe a heavier coat rather than just a couple windbreakers and
Yes.
light pullovers.
Like a raincoat.
Thank you guys so much for participating in this. I really appreciate it, and I know Ace does too.